No. Because I also teach women, hey, if you want to attract this kind of person, you have to, appeal to them.
Grid One Motorsports donated $200. If toxic daddy issues had a face, this girl's would be it. You deserve nothing, you earn everything, and it sounds like you intend to earn it on your back.
Bro,
well, blame my dad then.
It just really seems like you don't have standards and you
God.
just more so expect to be pampered. And then if you aren't pampered, you're just kind of like, screw you, I'm going to leave. So you're literally given everything your entire life. And
But
that
you're
just makes you
saying that
lazy.
I don't have standards?
Yeah, because you're going for the one who has the most money.
I don't know
not necessarily.
I don't know what the context of your relationship was, but I feel like if you had standards like her, I feel like what happened to you wouldn't have happened, like, respectfully. And I think that you guys don't seem like you have your standards, and that's why your old man stole your money. In her case, her man wouldn't have stolen her money that she worked for.
He stole my money because I was disabled and in a wheelchair when we were married. For drugs too.
What does that have to do with that? We're talking about standards.
Because I wasn't able to
We're
like
not talking about how you were.
Okay, but so real quick, you're
that you say I
saying
don't
so
have
if I
standards.
had standards that it wouldn't have
then
happened to
maybe
me?
you would have seen some red flags, and maybe you would have analyzed why he left you without saying anything, and you wouldn't have ever been with a man that would disrespect you like that, because you would respect yourself and have standards. And honestly, I feel like women's status is actually measured by being able to say no and hold those standards.
Yes.
And I think that actually men find that very attractive, a woman's ability to say no.
I think
and
you're
hold her
making yourself
boundaries.
look like a joke.
Okay, you want to explain why?
Because you're just sounding fucking stupid. You're talking about shit you
Oh,
don't
no,
know.
she
Okay,
sounds
stop
very
calling me
reasonable.
stupid and stop saying I'm making myself look like a joke, and back it up with facts right now.
Well,
'Cause
okay,
I think you're just mad
I
that I just
actually
spoke
do have some
reality.
facts about her. So you don't even know how the relationship was in the first place. And honestly, in my opinion, I thought her fiance was better than a lot of other men that I've met in this day and age. He was always very good at communicating. He actually genuinely showed no red flags, nothing at all. He was very honest. He would help all the time. Like, he was basically everything that you guys are explaining that you want in a man, and you're bashing on something when in all reality, what you guys just said that you would expect in a man is the one who actually just up and dipped.
And then real
So.
quick, didn't you say you respected yourself but then had one night stands?
Yeah, that was me when I was an 18-year-old
It's not respecting
girl.
yourself.
That was me when I was an 18-year-old girl, and people
Being
learn
a
from
garden
their
tool girl.
mistakes. Yeah, sweetheart, when I was a freshman in college.
That's even
And-
worse.
Yeah, you don't have to be so negative. I'm just saying you can learn from this, and we're on here kind of to learn from each other, and I've learned so much, so why don't you learn from her? I'm saying maybe if you actually listen to her and how she holds standards, your ex-boyfriend or husband, whatever the fuck he was, wouldn't have stolen your money, and you wouldn't have been left with no explanation.
So
because
his drug addiction was like a determined. Okay, sorry. So you're telling me, so if you start off a relationship with someone where they're completely normal, right, and then they flip a switch, that's my fault. Because they decided to dabble in drugs and they decided to steal my money, so that's my fault.
I'm really doubting
If
they
you
were
stay.
normal.
Like what?
Respectfully-
If I stayed, that would have been my fault. I left.
Respectfully, I really doubt that they were normal. I think that red flags were probably missed, and that you were probably blinded by love, like both of you. But like, I could be wrong. Sometimes people can flip a switch, but
At
I
least
just
I was
don't-
able
So,
to
so you
commit.
think if I had her standards of like having men pay everything for me,
well, that's
and-
just a little
and being
portion of it. She
pampered.
also wants them to have like a great personality and like
Yeah.
nurture her and bring out her submissive
Great
side.
father.
oh, but if I
commitment.
pay for
Yeah.
something, then I have low standards.
Okay, but what is she offering the man? Why is the
I'm
man
not
going
saying
to
that
want
people have their own
to
preferences.
pay? Why is the man going to want to do all this for her? What is being brought to a table that is going to basically like make this man want to support you, want you to be the mother of your children? Like, so what's your guys' envision then of standards?
I think we've been talking about it all along.
Do you want to address her? What did you call her? I think you called her. Did you say call her stupid?
Yeah, you
I called her
me-
a
That was-
joke and
oh, you sorry.
stupid.
That's kind of rude, don't you think? I mean, do you have a
Yeah.
response to that?
Yeah, I do. Respectfully, do you look at yourself in the mirror every day and think
Respectfully,
I'm
do
stupid and a
you
joke?
look at yourself in the mirror every day and listen to what you fucking say?
Yeah, 'cause I
Like
love
literally, dude. This entire podcast, you've been sounding like a joke.
Oh, no.
That's so cute.
Thank you.
Anyways, do you want to explain like why I look stupid? And why-
Wait, we forgot
What
she
I'm
called
saying is
herself
a
a 10
joke.
earlier on.
Oh,
Delusion.
yeah. The
Okay,
10.
we already addressed that. Thank you. Maybe I'm like a different number. Like I learned from that, and I don't know
To
why.
me.
Thank you, but okay. Anyways, why can't you take the constructive criticism?
Because you're speaking about things you have no idea about. You
I think I have a great idea, honestly.
do you?
Yeah,
Okay. Miss
Mhm.
Garden Tool.
yeah. Keep calling me that.
Okay.
Yeah. It won't get to me, but I'm glad it gives you a little thrill and adrenaline and dopamine or whatever. It's okay. I'm sorry if that hurt you. I just think that if you had
Why do you keep talking?
If you had standards, because we're on a podcast, what are we here for? To sit and be silent? I don't
wait
think
for
so.
Brian to talk and ask questions. It's
I think Brian's
the whatever show.
I
It's
think
not
Brian's
your show.
enjoying this, and he actually likes it when people go on tangents, and I think he actually appreciates this right now.
He's getting good content.
But,
Viral
but
clips.
to be honest, what I'm trying to say
more
is
people joined.
if you held greater standards for yourself, you probably wouldn't have been disrespected the way you were. And sometimes women who have high standards are indeed the ones who are able to leave their connections because they hold those high standards. And yeah, I don't know. Thank you.
Do you have a response?
Just sounds like a joke to me.
That's a great response.
So
Thank you,
having
I
high
appreciate it.
standards is a joke.
Having your standards is a joke.
But what if
Or you
men
want
are
the
meeting
smoke
my
from everybody
standards?
tonight? Okay, let's do another video. Or wait, no, sorry, I have more questions. Let me ask, what % of men do you think can provide women with comfort and luxury?
Not a lot. I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
But I'm also not gonna settle down for mediocrity.
Word. So, like, what do you practically propose, though? Because, like, do swaths of women ignore the majority of men and pursue a small % of rich men who can provide comfort and luxury? So, like, should rich men just have,
But
like,
an
50
average man
wives?
can provide that. Like if he has a good
No.
job, yes.
Average
if he
men
has a good
can't
job.
provide luxury.
Well, not luxury, but stability.
luxury.
No,
Okay,
but-
but leave the luxury
Wait,
apart.
here's
like,
the economic
to the side.
reality. Here's the economic reality. The majority of people are going to have a household where both men and women are providing. That's just, you're going to need 2 incomes, really,
Well, he needs to get 2
to have
jobs.
a family. He's got what?
He needs to get 2 jobs because I'm not bringing in an income.
No, look, if you can find a guy that's willing to provide, that's fine. But just the
If you need 2
sheer
incomes,
economic,
like, get a second job.
but the sheer economic reality is that for most people, most households, in order, if you want to have kids and have a family, you're going to need 2 incomes.
And you know why I say that so confidently? And because my father, okay, he migrated 3 different countries. Like he was, like he came from a poor background, right? And he made it. And I've never seen my mom having to pick up a job. Like he always, sacrifice and, pick up on jobs and stuff, to make ends meet. And it worked out. And he likes it like that. My mom is comfortable. And now we live in, my family lives, in a better position right now. And that's how I was brought up. Like I never seen my mom working.
Okay. All right.